Welcome to this series on passion pathways, in which we're going to look for hints in daily life, quotes from books, little stories which help you stay on the path towards finding your passion in life. We're going to begin with a quote from one of my favorite books, a book by Deepak Chopra called The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire, Harnessing the Infinite Power of Coincidence. I'll start with a quote from the book. So remain sensitive. Observe coincidences during both your daytime living and your nighttime dreaming. And pay attention to anything that breaks the probability amplitude, the statistical likelihood of a space-time event. We all need to plan things to some extent, to make assumptions about tomorrow, even though we don't actually know what is going to happen. Anything that upsets our plans, anything that takes us off the trajectory we think that we are on, can provide a major insight. Even the absence of events that you expect can be clues to the intent of the universe. People who have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning to go to a job they hate, who find it difficult to become engaged in their professional activities, who feel emotionally dead after a day at the office, need to pay attention to those feelings. These are important signals that there must be a way to get more fulfillment out of life. Perhaps a miracle lies in the wings. You never know unless you form an intention, become sensitive to the clues from the universe, follow the chain of coincidence, and help create the destiny you most desire. From The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire, Harnessing the Infinite Power of Coincidence by Deepak Chopra. I really like this book. There's so many powerful quotes like this that are very thought-provoking and worth reading slowly. But let's look at some of the takeaways that you might get from this short paragraph. He begins by talking about observing coincidences. Now, even the word coincidence seems to suggest something accidental, and people who believe that life events are more or less haphazard or up to chance, so to speak, might consider that they are unusual coincidences. However, when something like that happens, it's good not only to observe it, but to actually write it down. If you start making a journal of the coincidences, the unusual occurrences that seem a little bit beyond the probability. How could that have happened if I had only left the house 2 minutes later, I might have missed it? Or why is it just when I'm thinking about that person, they give me a call? Or just when I'm looking for one thing, I find something else that was even better, that was not even in my awareness that even existed. Or you get an opportunity coming out of the blue. Just to write these down and look for patterns. And then he says that our life is subject to unexpected things that happen, or things that you expected to happen don't happen. And so rather than feeling frustrated or blaming somebody, look for insights in the unexpected. And you might actually find that you enjoy the process very much. He then talks about the negative experience of the people who have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, or a hard time engaging in their work, or maybe at the end of the day they feel exhausted, drained in their energy, or they just can't get into the things that they are supposed to be doing, or that they are engaged, that they are actually even being paid to do. So pay attention to these energy drains, because most people will drown them out by distractions, or thinking that they need, or blaming someone, or thinking they need a holiday. But if you pay attention to when your energy drops, and see if you can find the patterns, because this is also a lesson to you to get back on the path, or maybe just to correct your course a little bit so that you can raise your energy. And then he talks about the following the chain of coincidences. I love that phrase because a chain suggests links. So all of these coincidences are not just random events, but actually are linked in chains that can, if you follow them, can lead to further discoveries. And then he concludes this paragraph by saying, you create the destiny you most desire. Now, the thing I love about this book is he talks about a process. He's evidently coined the term synchrodestiny. So it's, I think, a combination of the words synchronicity and destiny, suggesting that if you find the spontaneous coincidences and the patterns in these, and you follow them, then you actually get closer and closer to the path of your destiny, that which the universe wants for you, and that's which your true self actually wants most for you as well. So pick up the book by Deepak Chopra, or at least take a few minutes and think about some of the insights that you can draw from this short excerpt from this great book. And I will see you in the next session.